Hi, my name is Alyssa Cuffy Anoaha, and you are listening to the Durham Artist Archive. This is where we tell the story of Durham through the eyes of artists. Let's get into it. Hey, this is Alyssa, and you're listening to the Durham Artist Archive. Long time no see, huh? So today I'm going to lead with an invitation, and then we'll get into a little reflection. So let's start with the logistics. So here it is. This April, I'm hosting a 1-month pop-up gallery at 104 West Parrish Street in Durham, North Carolina on Black Wall Street. If you know anything about downtown Durham, this is a historic block, which already feels so special. And honestly, I'm still processing that I even get to be here. But across the month, there will be 3 core exhibitions over 3 weekends, plus 3 additional events highlighting local artists for a total of 6 events over the course of 1 month. Yes, it is a massive undertaking, which is why I'm collaborating with the amazingly talented Nori McDuffie to bring everything together. So this has been in motion since I received the Snapdragon Fund in August 2025. And one of the parts that I've been really excited about is that the Durham Artist Archive will have its own exhibition. So mark your calendar for April 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. I will say that again, April 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. The Durham Artist Archive will have an exhibition and podcast guest meetup for listeners, guests, and community members. That means the artists you've heard on the podcast, the stories you've listened to on your commute, on your couch, or while you were supposed to be working, I won't tell. You'll get to see all of that work in person, right? So the very specific camera that C-Bay talks about, the color palettes that Deshawn Burnett builds from, the joy that Candy brings into her paintings. You'll get to experience all of that in the room. We've got a selection of the creatives from the pod that will be featured, and many more of the guests will just be in attendance. So if you've been listening, this is definitely not one to miss. We'll have food, drinks, music, some other surprises, the whole setup. And April 17th is Third Friday. So you can turn this into a full night out. Start with us, of course, and then head over to spots like North Star Church of the Arts, the Durham Arts Council, the Durham Arts Guild, or just walk through downtown and see what you find. There's going to be so many arts events going on that I know you're going to run into something. So that's the primary invitation. April 17th, 6 to 8 p.m. Come hang out with us. We'd love to see you. And now I want to shift a little bit. I was recently going through old episodes and blog posts, and wow, it's been almost 2 years since we started in 2024. And I was thinking about how I came across a piece I wrote in December 2024, published in early 2025, called The Art of World Building. In it, I was thinking about how one idea can stretch further than we usually allow it to. This was inspired by my conversation with Ket Cates, Derek Beasley, and Sass. A single artwork can become a print, a t-shirt, an exhibition, a film, or even an interactive installation that you could walk through. This one concept can be built out into many lives. And I remember Ayana Zaire Cotton, another podcaster and creative that I absolutely love, referenced that a strong artistic concept should be able to sustain you for 4 years. And that stuck with me because Social media trains us to move on too quickly. Post it once and then on to the next thing. You get your big win, and then it's what's next. But what happens if we stay with something longer, if we keep returning to it, reshaping it, sharing it in new ways, building depth? All of that has come to me as I reread that post, and especially when I got to the part where I brainstormed ways to expand the Durham Artist Archive. I did my own world building exercise where I thought about the ways that I might keep this project going and evolve it so that it could sustain me for 4 years. So I thought about zines, I thought about artist talks, dinner conversations, and the one that stood out was exhibitions. And what's wild is that I published that in January 2025, months before I applied for a grant, over a year before I had access to a space. Before any of this was real, I had written it down. And seeing it now fully in motion just reminds me how important that practice is. Writing things down, making it plain, which is biblical, letting yourself imagine something before you know how it'll happen. And I see it in my journals all the time, like little notes that later turn into real things, but seeing it publicly documented too kind of made it hit differently because I felt like I was able to build in public with you all and that it's there, it's visible, and you could see from my inkling of an idea to the regular blog posts I was making about my progress on the project on my personal blog. And so unknowingly, that first post in January 2025 has been my roadmap. It puts me in mind of Zora Neale Hurston's quote, "The dream is the truth. Then act and do things accordingly." Now, that's slightly paraphrased. It comes from "Their eyes are watching God." But this is your reminder. Write things down, even if they feel small. Even if you don't know what to do with them, just put it somewhere you'll remember to come back to. So, all that said, I hope to see you on April 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. for the Durham Artist Archive exhibition. We'll be hanging out at 104 West Parrish Street in downtown Durham. And if you can't make that date, we'll have a variety of other events going on. We have our Blink of an Eye art exhibition on Friday, April 24th. The artist call is currently open until April 13th. You can apply to that right now if you're listening to this before April 13th, 2025. You can also come out to the Sepia Soul Poetry event on Sunday, April 26th. And I encourage you to come out to Nori McDuffie's solo exhibition on Tuesday, April 28th. If you're interested in submitting or you just want to learn more about any of these other events, find me on Instagram or in the show notes, and I'll have everything there. Thank you so much for listening. I have really appreciated your time, and I hope to see you soon in person. Have a great day.